Today on the channel, we rank Unrivaled Series 9 from my least favorite to my favorite.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here. Welcome back to the channel for AEW Unrivaled Series 9 rankings. This is the point where we rank them from my least favorite to my favorite, and that's exactly what we're going to do here with AEW Unrivaled Series 9. Now, if you missed any of these reviews, check them out on my YouTube channel, of course. Hit up the playlist. All my AEW unboxings are in one playlist, so you can check out any of these if you missed them. But we're going to do it like we normally do it here. We're going to rank them from my least favorite all the way to my favorite, and a little conversation along the way. And of course, 6 figures in AEW Unrivaled Series 9. And the coolest thing about this set is all first time in the line characters. I think that is pretty cool. That's been one of the big gripes against Jazzware, saying we don't get enough new talent, don't get enough new talent. Well, the last Unmatched series with the Dark Order, Unrivaled Series 9, we're finally getting a good amount of new characters. And Jazzwares has been open and honest about this. They said, hey, COVID slowed down our moving around the country, scanning people's faces, so we had to bring out some more MJFs, some more Codys, some more Moxleys, because that's all we had available to us at the time. Now that COVID's got a little bit more manageable, we're getting a lot of new people and hopefully a lot of new characters to come here very soon. But let's start it off. Let's rank this. And I got to say, as an overall wave, not super great, but not bad at all. And my expectations were a little low for AEW Unrivaled Series 9, I gotta say. As a whole, better than expected, but it's one of those weird waves where not a lot of characters stand out. To me, there's one that was number one, the one I'm gonna rank number one. Far and away, it was the best one of the bunch by a long shot. The rest are all very, very close, and there's a little subtle things I don't like about every single one, except one of them so far here. And that's weird. There's just one little thing that holds it away from being great in my eyes. And but for the most part, all of them, though, blew away my expectation. That were a little bit better than I expected them to be from the promo shots we got via Jazzwares, things like that. So without further ado, let's start at the bottom. Let's start at number 6. This is really tough to do. As like I said, outside of the one I'm going to rank at number 1, the rest are all very close. And, you know, you ask me a week from now, the lineup might change a little bit. I don't think number 1 spot will change, but the rest very easily could. And I'm going to go at number 6. This is going to be tough. This is possibly the toughest ranking one I've had to do. I guess I'm going to go Eddie Kingston at number 6. We talked about it in the review a little bit. I don't know if I could tell you it's Eddie Kingston with the head removed. If you gave me just the head, I'd say, I don't know who this is exactly. I might be a little confused. And so that does bring this one down a little bit. Also, if you take the necklace off, which I'm not a huge fan of this necklace, a little too Mr. T for me. It makes it have a weird body shape right there. So there's some things they could improve in future Eddie Kingstons. It is still very cool to at least get an Eddie Kingston in a toy line. So we got that, but I'm going to put him at number 6 in my rankings here. So now we move on to number 5. And number 5, oh boy, I'm going to go Ricky Starks. And a lot of that is just because I'm not the biggest Ricky Starks fan here. And as a whole, outside of the number 1 figure, this may be the most perfect figure of the bunch. A lot of articulation on this. You got an extra chain around his neck. You know, you got a chain there for an extra accessory. Good paint applications. I think it's just my non-love of Ricky Starks as a character bringing this one down, because this is a pretty solid figure. I think it gets the job done. I would like the Chase Rare Edition more than this one if I had that. Maybe I will one day. Who knows? But I'm going to go Ricky Starks at 5. And maybe that's not totally in line with a lot of people views on stuff, but that's where it's going to go for me. Then I'm going to go to number 4. Gosh, this is really tough. This is a tough one to do. Number 4, I'm going to go Brian Cage. What the heck? I'll go Brian Cage, number 4. Very tight between the two I was deciding between. Brian Cage, once again, I love how this figure feels. It's just the head sculpt a little bit off, and part of that is him bringing it on himself, giving himself that goofy beard. That holds that back a little bit for me, but I love the feel of this one in hand. A very, very solid figure outside of the head. The heads are a little bit crazy, a little bit out there. I don't know, I just can't get past the head on these, but a great base body. Hopefully we get more Brian Cages. Hopefully he returns to wrestling. We'll see if that happens one day. He could be wrestling Independence for all I know right now, but I haven't seen him on AEW in almost a year, as we found out on the back of the box. Would have loved an FTW belt with him. Would have loved an FTW belt with Ricky Starks. Just give me an FTW belt. Hopefully that happens one of these days. But I'm going to put him in at number 4. And I guess number 3, I'm going to give to Powerhouse Hobbs. And once again, I'm very close between all these. This Powerhouse Hobbs is probably the one that was the best in hand compared to the visuals we got from that AEW Fan Fest. It looked really rough there. It looks a heck of a lot better here. I do like the looks of it. I like the FTW gear. I love the head sculpt that comes on with him. There's kind of Elvis going on there. I think that looks really good. Just a very solid figure. What holds this one back, and everybody's got one little issue, what holds this back is the waist on this one. It just doesn't match up quite right. It looks a little goofy, a little bit strange, and that brings that down a little bit for mine. But boy, I gotta tell you, way better than expected on this Powerhouse Hobbs figure. So this isn't a bad one for a first go around the sun with old Powerhouse Hobbs. Then we got the final 2. Final 2 isn't very close for me. I would say all these ones, though, are very close. But at number 2, we definitely have to go with Christian Cage. Of course, part of the Cage family with Brian Cage and their older brother, Nicolas Cage, which we'll unbox next week on the channel. But Christian, a lot like Powerhouse Hobbs, definitely looks better in person. Really goofy with the hand situation, and there was a lot of goofy shenanigans with the hands on all of these figures, as we've been accustomed to with the AEW Jazzwares line since the inception. Goofy hand size differences on this Christian. I don't know what to think about it, but the head sculpt's definitely better than I thought they were going to be in hand. Still a little glossy in spots, but much better when you get them in your hand and you look at them for sure. But not bad turnout for the first ever Christian figure from AEW, but not enough to be number 1. And number 1, of course, the last one left, we're going to go to Thunder Rosa. Who would have thought? It's not very often the females take the top spot in these countdowns. Nothing against them. Usually the figures just aren't as strong as some of their male counterparts, but totally different here. We got tons of hands with her. We got a cool soft goods, or not soft goods, but vinyl good plastic accessory here, first time in the line. Nice crown tiara with her. And then face paint. You can't go wrong with face paint. You know I'm a sucker for face paint. And she is one of my favorite female wrestlers, so that does help her as well. But the extra hands, the cool colors to her, just a lot to like about this Thunder Rosa. It'll be interesting how well she does on the store shelves. As we see Anna Jay, we see Nyla Rose, we see my girl Rio hanging around in most stores. Will she have that same fate? It'll be very interesting to find out. But man, I like this Thunder Rosa. And this one, I didn't have a huge expectations going in, and this one totally blew me away. Blew me away so much, it went all the way to number 1 in my countdown list in my top 6 AEW Unrivaled Series 9 figures. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? How would you rank these? Really, these, it comes down to a lot of personal preference, I feel. Some issues with every single one, and maybe those issues are bigger to me than they are to you. As usual, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below, but I'd love to see how you guys all rank these guys, as they are very close, which is a good thing. It's always good to be consistent and about the same consistency. Whether good or bad, at least you're consistent, some might say. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, like this video. Of course, subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bell. Follow along on Patreon for this video and tons of early bonus content, giveaways, you know the drill over there at Patreon, and best of all, you support the channel. You can reach out to me and follow along at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. So for AEW Unrivaled Series 9, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.